we aim to refine and repackage the human experience into a single, long-lasting, easy-to-ingest tablet for everyone in the galaxy.
Cards on the table, right? Eurogamer hated the original High on Life. We called it a mediocre shooter with an unfunny attitude problem and gave it a bit of a kicking. Awkward. I mean, I liked it, but I'm repping the company here, so... At the same time, we believe in second chances, and High on Life 2 is at least a partial vindication of that belief. Squanch Games has clearly been working on itself over the past 3 years. High on Life 2 is friendlier, funnier, and faster on the trigger than it was in our first outing.
Things have changed since the last time you saw him. I heard the place isn't even called Mr. Keeps anymore.
It's also become well good at skateboarding, which is unexpected, but kinda hot. Reprising your role of adolescent intergalactic bounty hunter.
But we're all wanted criminals now? Top of the bounty charts?
Yeah, we're all over the news.
High on Life 2 kicks off with a playable montage of the events following your victory over the drug-dealing G3 cartel, which sought to corner the market in human-based narcotics. It was like that series of Torch with Captain Jack has to kill his grandson at the end. It's very sad. Rescuing humanity from the bottom of alien bongs has catapulted you to celebrity status, and High on Life 2's opening sequence flicks through your subsequent talk show appearances, hover limo rides, and battles against alien kaiju with impressive efficiency. High on Life's high life is clearly wearing on your character, so it's something of a relief when a chance encounter with your sister, now a self-made resistance fighter, course corrects you onto a new mission, taking down the ringleaders of Rhea Pharmaceutical. The galaxy's biggest drug manufacturer plans to get humans reclassified from illegal drug to medicinal pill, a move that would spell doom for the species again. While hardly a sophisticated satire of Big Pharma, the Switch yields a more interesting series of objectives than before. High on Life 2 sees you taking down eccentric billionaires, mad scientists, corrupt politicians, and literal finance wizards in an array of colourful missions.
Do you seek counsel with me?
Gwendolyn, hi, hey, right? It's Gwendolyn? Yeah, we're looking for one of your members.
The highlight of these is ConCon, where you're tasked with assassinating the unfortunately named Muppy Doo, Rhea's biggest political supporter, on a planet that's basically Coruscant for conventions. Every activity imaginable has its own celebratory event on ConCon, from politics to murder. Even parking for the conventions is its own brutally competitive festival, as drivers from across the galaxy compete for the best parking spots in a deadly game that combines musical chairs with vehicular manslaughter.
God damn it! That was my spot, asshole!
Dungeon, hey, find us another spot.
From this opening parking lot brawl to its fourth wall breaking finale, ConCon showcases High on Life 2 and its most accomplished. Not every mission is so successful. A mid-game scenario where you infiltrate a cult in the Wyoming countryside suffers from staid level design and an overlong boss fight, but unlike the first game, High on Life 2 doesn't run out of imaginative steam halfway through, delivering new ideas right into its final hour. Even its least interesting locations are elevated by the sequel's biggest new feature, the skateboard. There's something mildly miraculous about how Squanch Games integrate skateboarding into both platforming and combat. By combining simplified controls that focus on ollies, wall rides, and glue-on grinding with more traditional action game maneuvers like a double jump and air dash, Squanch provides a movement toolset that facilitates thrilling acrobatics without knotting your fingers together. Bunny hopping across lines of hovering traffic in ConCon is tremendously satisfying, as is knocking down enemies by ollieing into their faces. The breeziness of the skateboarding is complemented by High on Life 2's broader adjustment in tone. Put simply, its writing is significantly less annoying than the first game. It's less crass, less misanthropic, less prone to ad-libs that run on for far too long.
Keep them coming!
Hey, mind if we sit here?
Yeah, be my guest. I could use the company, okay?
In its place is a more sincere attempt to get you to bond with your talking arsenal. This is most successfully achieved with Travis, your new pistol, who you meet in the depths of a self-pitying spiral after falling out with his weaponized wife, Jan. Over the course of several missions, their turbulent relationship is explored in noisy but well-observed fashion, while Travis's lame duck persona is the foundation for some fun jokes.
Whose side are you on?
Thanks, whoever you are.
Gus. I'm Gus.
Will everyone stop hitting on my wife?
While a big improvement, High on Life 2's humour falls short of genuinely good comedy games like Psychonauts 2 or Thank Goodness You're Here. The gap between word count and jokes that land is still too wide for our liking, and it still occasionally does that thing where an NPC obstructs you while constantly chittering about it. Nonetheless, the reduced hostility makes it easier to forgive High on Life 2 when the humour doesn't land, and there are good gags within the voluminous script. There's a great late game joke about stealth mechanics, and a running joke about one of your weapons resembling a certain Star Wars character that make you laugh pretty reliably, actually. I mean, it's still a guilty pleasure thing like Rick and Morty, right? You've just kinda gotta go with it. High on Life 2's biggest problem is that its primary mechanic, the shooting, remains its weakest element. This would be a problem for a shooter.
But you mustn't forget that I'm the one in control here.
Oh, we're not just good, we're better than you!
Again, it is a better FPS than Squanch's first attempt. The enemies are more varied and interesting, the skateboard adds versatility in navigating arenas, and your arsenal has been expanded with a couple of interesting firearms. These include a composite bow that can create dimensional rifts to shoot through, and an assault rifle voiced by Ralph Ineson, which is a back-of-the-box feature in and of itself. The problem is that it's all still too floaty and insubstantial, lacking that audio-visual kick that's fundamental to a great shooter. Melee attacks still feel like you're wafting knifey in front of you rather than slicing an enemy's throat. Juggling enemies with the glob shot is still clumsy and of questionable tactical advantage, while Assault Ralph's sonorous voice is not matched by the pathetic pew of his projectiles.
Ah, yes. Good guys, mercenaries. Bring it on. We shall grant you justice.
Ultimately, when your shotgun fizzles rather than booms, you've got problems, no matter how meticulously animated its face is. Indeed, as much as we enjoy the skateboard's presence, it ultimately serves to distract you from the problems with High on Life 2's combat rather than actually solving them. Sure, being able to launch a skateboard into an opponent's teeth is a fun mechanical flourish, but would I swap this for a shotgun that rattles your soul when you pull the trigger? Without hesitation. There are other lingering issues too. The music is still hideous. A tuneless electronic wail that's less an earworm and more of an ear infection. The voice acting remains a mix of genuinely excellent performances and oddly flat delivery. There's still an inexplicably huge open hub area that gives you little impetus to actually explore it, and we can't help but feel those resources would be better spent on one or two more high-concept missions. Finally, the pre-release version of High on Life 2 we played suffered from several major bugs. The most notable of these prevented us from talking to key characters outside of cutscenes, essentially skipping all of their dialogue. This didn't seem like it would be too much of a problem until we found ourselves having to solve a murder in the game's first act, wherein said bug prevented us from interrogating any of the suspects. As it happens, we still managed to correctly identify the killer because we're smart, but hopefully that's patched up in the release version. Regardless, we came away from High on Life 2 pleasantly surprised, not mesmerised, not blown away, but also not wishing I could charge Justin Roiland for 15 of the sorriest hours of my life again. I won't speculate on how Roiland's departure from Squanch affected the trajectory of the sequel, but from an outside perspective, High on Life 2 has grown up in mostly the right ways while retaining enough of its goofball personality to be a good hang when it counts. Is it love? Not quite, but I wouldn't kick it out of bed either. Rick, this dating metaphor is not really suiting me at all. I'm middle-aged and married, and I'm well in my pipe and slippers era, so nobody's getting on the bed with me unless it's the cat wanting fed, do you know what I mean? Anyway, like and subscribe, yeah?